Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with a WWE Network review of King of the Ring 1995. I always normally like to jump on and tell you, make sure you go watch this show. It was a great show. Maybe if I didn't like it that much, I say, hey, it wasn't that great of a show, but make sure you go out of your way and watch this one match out of there. This is a horrible show. This is honestly one of the worst pay-per-views that I've ever seen start to finish. It's a little bit of a tearful eye to get through. It just wasn't great. You would think that a King of the Ring tournament, this is basically built around King of the Ring 1995, it didn't really have a great main event. Its main event is actually a tag team featuring the WWF champion Diesel at the time. There's no championship match. There's nothing. They're just crowning the King of the Ring. And you would think that a King of the Ring tournament that houses the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, there might be a chance you might get to see those guys wrestle 3 times on this show. Nope! They screw the whole thing up. They wrestled, but hey, it is what it is. We'll get down to it. WWF Network, or WWE Network, I guess, they uploaded the Coliseum home video library tape onto the network. That's what you watch when you click on it in the on-demand section of WWE pay-per-views from the past. As the show opens, they say thank you for buying the Coliseum home video exclusive tape. For buying that, we're going to add on the free-for-all, and then we'll join the program right now. The reason why they had to add the free-for-all on there, well, I don't know. I haven't watched a lot of them. Maybe a lot of the shows from that time period from the Coliseum video have the free-for-alls on there. I'll have to check it out as I go. This is the first one I've noticed. The reason why I think they put it on there is because they had an injury on the roster, Razor Ramon, who was qualified to be in the tournament, and it was set in stone that he was going to wrestle on this show. Had an injury. I believe he injured his rib. They had to take him out of the show, and they needed to fill his spot. So they had a qualifying match between Savio Vega and IRS. Razor Ramon, who was a big star at the time, they just didn't want to sit him off the pay-per-view. Vince McMahon sort of hyped him up as that, he's too injured. How did he put it? Because he almost got in a fight with Owen Hart. He said that he basically said Razor Ramon is too injured to wrestle if he had to wrestle in more than one match. And basically because he had been in King of the Rings prior and he reached all the way to the finals in King of the Ring 1993 where he lost to Bret Hart. They didn't want to take that chance, so they just had to sit him down. If he had to get in a fight with Owen Hart, he would have kicked his ass, but he didn't. So basically, they replaced him, Savio Vega versus IRS. In a lot of the Savio Vega matches, they're not so much. I mean, the guy honestly only has 2 moves in all of the matches. He has an armbar, and he's got a spinning kick. And that's about all we see from Savio Vega. And we see a lot of them. Because, spoiler alert, he reaches the finals of this tournament. They're desperately trying to get this guy over after he had just debuted the month before at In Your House, coming down and helping out Razor Ramon when he was in a jam, getting attacked by some heels. So basically, the free-for-all ends with Savio Vega beating IRS, which goes right into the main show, where Savio Vega has to wrestle in the opening match against Yokozuna. Yokozuna, who was I guess you can say he was a big star at the time. This is the start of the decline of Yokozuna, mostly wrestling as a tag wrestler with British Bulldog or with Owen Hart, basically as a part of that Cornette connection. And basically, they didn't want to beat Yokozuna on this show, so they had to find some way to do it. So Owen Hart comes down. Owen Hart starts getting, in a little bit of a heated discussion with Razor Ramon. Yokozuna and Savio Vega are fighting on the outside of the ring. Savio Vega basically just shoves Yokozuna, jumps back in the ring, gets the cheap win for the countout, and he moves on in the tournament. Hey, a win's a win, and it doesn't matter how you get it. In other matches, you saw the Roadie versus Bob Holly, with the Roadie getting the win. Not that big of a deal here. From there, we go to Kama, wrestling against Shawn Michaels. Should be an easy win for Shawn, you would think, right? He moving on. More than likely one of the favorites to win the King of the Ring. You think one of the biggest stars at the time. He hadn't won the WWF Championship at this point, but you would think that, from watching it this time, it looked like he was pretty well destined. We've seen him in some main events with guys, and it seemed like, if not today, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Shawn's time. But this one goes the distance, all 15 minutes. Shawn Michaels couldn't beat Kama. Kama was putting up a fight here. This is a good match, not a great match, not definitely one to go out of the way. The last minute was most exciting because they put the countdown on and you hear the announcer yelling over the intercom, 45 seconds, 30 seconds, and Shawn's got to find a way to get it done. In the end, he's not able to get it done. As soon as the bell rings and they say there's no winner and nobody's going to move, Shawn goes into one of his hissy fits, which I guess he wasn't famous for at the time. It was pretty surprising. He just starts yelling bullshit. He super kicks Kama and knocks him out, jumps out of the ring and says, well, I didn't win. It's time for a pose down. And he gets the big star treatment, dancing around the ring and everything like that. And in the next match, we go to Mabel against Undertaker. Undertaker, hey, Shawn didn't win. He wins this match. He's guaranteed to be in the finals, wrestling against Mabel. And what do you know? They job out Taker as well. Basically, Mabel and Undertaker are having a match, a dreadful match as that should be, when Kama, who wasn't able to beat Shawn Michaels, who got knocked out by Shawn in the super kick, runs down, knocks down Undertaker, setting up Taker to take the big leg drop from Big Mabel. Mabel rolls him up, gets the 1, 2, 3, and what do you know? Taker's out of the King of the Ring as well. Normally, they sort of space the matches out, where they, put the sort of non-main event matches in between the King of the Ring to sort of separate the rounds of the tournament, but they didn't do that. They go right back into an awesome match of the Roadie against Savio Vega. The Roadie honestly sort of makes this match bumping his ass off for Savio Vega and his 2 moves of doom, the arm drag and the and the spinning kick, and that's just about it. I mean, Savio Vega gets the win here. Nothing really spectacular about the match. After the match, you see a big promo with you see Savio Vega getting interviewed by one of the, I think it would be the Spanish announce team, and Savio Vega is holding a Puerto Rican flag. They're really trying to get him over. If you listen to the Stone Cold Steve Austin podcast with Just Incredible, one of the reasons why they came up with the Man of War gimmick for him was that he was Portuguese. They were really trying to get WWF into Portugal with all of the sort of wrestling shows. They get down there, they could have made a lot of money. They go there on a tour, they sort of scrape up all the money. So they were really thinking that a Portuguese wrestler and a Puerto Rican wrestler at this time would really help them out in their global expansion, which was going on. The whole time Doc Hendricks makes this interview, he doesn't know what they're saying in whatever language they're saying. If it's Puerto Rican, I don't know what Puerto Rican speak. I don't want to have something accidentally come out racist in this. So we'll just say that they're speaking another language. Doc Hendricks is making fun of it, saying that he thinks he's going to get squashed in the main event and that he doesn't have a chance. And it is what it is. We're going to see Savio Vega wrestle against Mabel in the main event of the King of the Ring. From here we go to a match that actually had some heat, and a kiss my foot match. Jerry Lawler wrestling against Bret Hart. Of course, we saw Bret Hart lose the match at the pay-per-view before In Your House 1, a show that I've talked about a few times on here. But there is a review that I made on this channel probably about a month ago when I was watching some In Your Houses. And that show is a lot better than this show. It was a lot like watching a Monday Night Raw. That was just a little bit, bigger because they had championship matches on it, but it was a lot better than this. But Hakushi cost Bret Hart the match. Hakushi came down, he got involved in this match again, basically knocking out Jerry Lawler. For Bret Hart to put the sharpshooter on Jerry. This is a feud that had been going on for 2 years now, since Jerry Lawler attacked Bret Hart when he won the first King of the Ring in 1993. You can tell that there's a lot of heat in this match, basically because once Jerry Lawler did tap out, Bret the Hitman Hart held the sharpshooter on for 3 more seconds, and that was a long time. Hebner was really begging Bret to break the hold or he was going to have to get disqualified. Bret finally, in disgust, throws Jerry down out of the sharpshooter, climbs up on the turnbuckle, unties his shoe, forces Jerry to kiss his foot that he had just wrestled in his boots in a big match. Where would they go from here? Yep. Jerry Lawler couldn't get the taste of Bret Hart's foot out of his mouth, so he went to the dentist to get his mouth cleaned, and it was cleaned by none other than Isaac Yankem, DDS, a.k.a. What Kane Once Was. Horrible time in wrestling right here, guys. Horrible time. In the main event, we see Mabel wrestling against Savio Vega in a match that is just all out no good. Basically, you can tell by listening to the Vince McMahon's commentary that he has no faith in this match. He's basically begging Savio Vega to get any offense in this match at all. You would think that a finals match would be built up for something, but they used it mainly to just kill Savio Vega, get Mabel, the King of the Ring. He was crowned King of the Ring, and the fans there in Philadelphia just went ballistic on this guy. They were chanting ECW, ECW, which was one of the first times a lot of people mainstream caught wind of what ECW was. During this, the 1-2-3 Kid came down to try and help, Savio Vega not getting squashed. He ended up getting squashed by Mabel. Razor Ramon, who I talked about earlier, being injured, he jumped in there. He tried to get in the middle of what was going on. He got squashed for his efforts. It's just weird that the King of the Rings, you go Bret the Hitman Hart, Owen Hart, Mabel. I don't know. Main event of the show that night is going to be Diesel and Bam Bam Bigelow wrestling against Sid and Tatanka at In Your House 1. Diesel and Sid had a match going on before Tatanka came down, helping Sid not get the real loss, I guess you can say, as he was setting up for the jackknife powerbomb. Tatanka came down and attacked him. Tatanka ended up eating the jackknife powerbomb that night as Sid walked off to the back. So they made this a tag team match. So that way Tatanka and Sid would both be in the ring. The only problem is that in the main event of your pay-per-view, Sid walks out on the match again. Only for Tatanka to get killed by Diesel with the big boot, the jackknife power bomb, and Diesel begged Sid to get back into the ring. He finally just hit an elbow drop on Tatanka and pinned him to end this crap. A horrible, horrible show. I beg you, and I plead with you, stay away from King of the Ring 1995. It is no good for you, no good for me. All out bad show. Bad year, 1995. Peace out, everybody.